Hey sports card fans, it's John, Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Prior to the National, I won 3 auctions for cards that are on my 100 cards for $10,000 list. In my previous video, I showed off the 30th card that I picked up off that list, which was the 1972 Topps Frank Robinson. Today, I'm going to be showing off card number 31, which is the 1969 Topps Jim Palmer. And I thought I would show off some of the other 1969 Topps cards that I have in my collection. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let's check out some cards. Okay, before I get to the Jim Palmer card, I'll show off some of the other 69 Topps cards that I have in my collection. The first one here is the 1968 batting leaders featuring 2 Hall of Famers, Corey Yastrzemski and Tony Oliva. This one's in a PSA 7. Then I have another league leaders card, the 1968 RBI leaders from the National League, featuring 3 Hall of Famers. We have Willie McCovey, Ron Santo, and Billy Williams. It's only a PSA 4, but it's very well centered. Yeah, I'll take it. The next, I love this card. First solo card of Johnny Bench. Picked this one up at, I think, the 2022 National. Again, great centering for a PSA 4. Then we have the Hank Aaron. The Corey Yastrzemski, which was a very tough card to find without some of the ink lines that are very common with the Yastrzemski card for some reason. But this is missing most of the black print lines that you normally see on the 69 Yaz. Then we have the Frank Robinson. The Corey Yastrzemski All-Star card. Love the colors on this, even though it's a PSA 4, presents very well. The Tom Seaver. Check out the colors on that. And then finally, the Willie Stargell. Again, for 5, presents very well. These 69s, you can get 4s and 5s, and if they're well centered, they look really nice and sharp. All right, on to the Jim Palmer. And speaking of PSA 5s, copy I picked up is in a PSA 5. Centering may not be perfect top to bottom, but again, overall, just a nice clean card. No complaints with that. And here is the back. Sometimes these 69 backs, now this one's maybe a little bit faded. Some of my 69s do have more of a darker background color to it, but yeah, very nice. Very happy with this. And once we get into the numbers here, you'll see that this was a very economical purchase for me. So let's get into the numbers. As you know, I wrap up these videos with how I did based on the price that I thought I would pay and for the grade that I assigned to it on the list, and then what I paid for it. So to try to get to $10,000 total for these 100 cards, I put down a PSA 7 for a 69 Topps Jim Palmer, and thinking for a PSA 7, I would need to spend $85. Well, this was an auction, and of course I dropped down to a PSA 5. I do not need a PSA 7 of the Jim Palmer card. And with the winning bid and shipping and tax, $20. So you can't complain there. So I saved $65 versus trying to go after a PSA 7. So right there, $65. That's another card on my 100 card list that I can now afford. So for a PSA 5, how did I do with just the PSA 5 purchase? Well, currently on the low end of the VCP data, you can maybe pick them up probably off center for 16 bucks. That's on the low end. On average, 26 bucks. And on the high end, the highest one recently sold for $38. And that is before shipping and tax. So just like my 1972 Topps Frank Robinson, $20 purchase there. This is another $20 purchase. Definitely cannot go wrong. Whoop, there we go. Definitely can't go wrong with this pickup right here for just 20 bucks. The 69 Jim Palmer. All right, so now for the 31 cards that I have picked up to date, based on the grade that I had assigned to that of that card on the list, I thought I would need to spend $2,785. But to date, for those 31 cards, I've only spent $1,425. So I have saved $1,360 from what I had thought I would have to spend, for the $10,000 total. So I'm not quite at the halfway mark. In other words, if I continue this, I'll still be above maybe $5,000, but nowhere near the $10,000 that I thought it would cost me, or potentially could cost me. So I think I'm doing very well. So would love to know in the comments, what do you think about this Jim Palmer pickup and some of the other 1969 Topps cards that I have in my collection. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.